Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Captain America issue 701. And I really enjoyed this issue. This was another good kind of what if kind of future story that we're getting before we get turned over to a new creative team taking over. And I kind of like this whole setup and the introduction of Steve's descendants and his great-great-great-grandson Steve and Steve's father Jack, and just how everything kind of went on in this issue, how we got the regular kind of artwork in the present-future storyline with Jack and Steve, and then other kind of artwork for when it's going back in time looking through Cap's history, was really well done and executed, and I really liked how they were able to flow it together. So it starts off, and we're seeing Cap and Bucky in World War II trying to make sure that the Erskine formula is not taken by the Nazis, having to defeat Warrior Woman and make sure that this Nazi doesn't get away with it. And it's kind of cool because we see him get to it, but it links importantly to what's going on in Jack's present. And we see that he is using this device to kind of beam it and show his son, and his son thinks of history and everything like that is boring, and Jack's trying to educate him, saying, like, listen, yeah, there's some boring kind of stuff in history, but your ancestors not really that boring. And he then kind of goes off because Steve's sick, and we get this information of what's going on with the doctors, that evidently the formula, they've created a kind of universal vaccine from the formula they were able to get from Steve Rogers' body when he died. I'm like, that's kind of cool, but evidently there's problems with Steve, which is kind of strange because he's a descendant of Steve, so he shouldn't be having these problems with the formula. And then, of course, we see Jack going around and kind of explaining how it's kind of going on. The world's pretty much at peace, and Earth expanded to the stars and is kind of showing this kind of way of life to the people among the stars as well. We see Kree children and people walking around as well, and that everything's in a good, peaceful mood because of the creation of this kind of vaccine / formula from the super soldier serum. People's lives have extended like 3 times, and it works across like all genders and everything, and all races and ethnicities. And it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. Steve was really big on the melting pot of America and everybody kind of coming together, and seeing that this is able to kind of like bring people together as well and do a positive for people is another kind of cool thing, hitting upon Cap's greatness. So Jack has now gone to the president because that's kind of afforded his position as a historian, as we get later on in the issue, that historians are actually venerated now and are an important group of people. He's trying to use that to get the president to give him the information that's going on, because there's certain information that the doctors won't give to him. But of course, General Purser is keeping him from doing that because it's a national security risk. He can't have the formula going off-world. It's like, okay, that's kind of weird. So he's going through and trying to think of what's going on. And we get another kind of thing going on. This time in 1968, we see Steve going up against Dr. Faustus. It's like, okay, we'll have to see what's going on with that. So, of course, Jack is going, okay, there's something going on with this general. So he does come back, and he uses this time lens. And evidently there was a Stark War 3, and that had shattered the Time Stone. And out of those fragments, they created these time lenses that can look into the past and everything. And historians are given these and all that to help them with their jobs recording history, but probably also to teach as well. And I'm like, that's actually a really good and kind of cool plot thing. And then we see Jack use it. He's kind of, hasn't really gotten into his kind of Cap phase yet, but we're seeing him do stuff that's like really kind of basic SHIELD stuff, because he uses the lens to get past security and get into the general's office and able to figure out where he's keeping records. And he's looking at them, and they're all written in Kree, and it details this Operation Star March. He's able to get deeper into it, and he figures out that the super soldier serum that is the foundation of everything now, has been twisted with a Kree implemented part to change everybody into Kree warriors and sleeper agents. Holy crap, that's probably why Steve isn't able to accept it. Of course, while he's doing this, a Kree communique comes in via holograms like, General, that's not him. We gotta send off and stop this. And of course, everybody's alerted. Jack is running out, and of course, Purser wants him muzzled and everything, and that's where the issue ends. But it sets up this kind of cool spy thing to get Cap's descendant kind of back into it and show, yeah, even though he's a historian, and even though he might not be exclusively trained like Steve was, sometimes people just have to step up. And seeing Jack kind of step up, like, oh god, this is important and I gotta do something, because not only is my son at risk, the whole planet's at risk. So I'm really interested to see where this is gonna end and what their kind of whole thing is gonna be with wrapping it up like this, because I really like this and kind of would have actually liked a kind of longer thing to deal with Jack and Steve. So hopefully they kind of keep this concept at some point and kind of explore it in another form or whatnot. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.